fine all the way in the back. Can you guys hear me too? Or do I need to speak a little louder?
You're good.
Great, all right. Okay, so this is a little bit of a pet peeve of mine, and I'll talk about this as well. There's a lot of, media, Facebook, there's always, a lot of like inspirational speakers talk about finding your passion, making an impact, and being the greatest person in the world. I think that's a big myth, right? You just don't walk in, to a job and be like, oh, this is my passion, I'm going to change the world. It takes years for you to build the skills and the contacts and the know-how to be able to change the world. I wasn't like saving people in New Guinea. When I was working at Exxon, I was making a corporation wealthier. Like I was doing that, I learned so many skills. But now that I'm in business school, I'm able to apply all of that to teach personal finance to people. So it's very important for you to build those skills first, right? Grind first. I mean, what I mean by that is like, there's a way the real world works, and there's a big disconnect between what people believe it is and what it actually is. And there are a lot of problems that people think need to be solved that don't need to be solved. There are more important problems that need to be solved, right? And when you do a job, you are bringing value to the planet, like you are helping people out, right? When I saved money for the plastics I was working on plastics. Do you guys know what I'm talking about? Like all, like that water bottle there, that's made from plastic that like we made. And the reason your water is so cheap, like the water bottle won't cost $1 or whatever, is because I worked on making plastics cheaper. You make it more efficiently, which means that people can buy things cheaper. And that has a positive impact, right? And this is going to sound a little trite, but the idea is that the first couple of years in life, it is going to be hard. You need to build the skills, right? You're going to be in that job, or yes.
What does trite mean?
It just means like kind of.
Like cliche?
Yeah, exactly. It's it's really kind of cliche.
Okay.
And just kind of boring, not really standing out, but that's the reality. It's going to be tough, but that makes you a better person. Like honestly, every one of you is going to go through a job and you're like, I don't want to go to work tomorrow. It just sucks. But you're getting paid and you're learning things along the way. So it's very important to have that. Okay. So the other thing about passion, right? I'm sure everybody would like here to be a rock star, doctor, saving the world, and climbing Mount Everest at the same time, but that's not realistic. My advice to you is try to find your passion within your job, right? Try to find things about your job that you really like and become passionate about that, right? And then as you get further and further and you build yourself up, you can change, okay? And yes, it is a luxury to find a job that you know 100%. I think it's practically impossible. But I thought I really liked my job. I was like that, you saw that picture where I was like inspecting stuff. I thought I really liked that. I did, but I was also working nights. Like, the sun would come up, I'd be asleep. I'd have blackout curtains, and I'd be sleeping in a hotel room. I did that for 2 months. So I'd never do that again, but I loved it. But there's trade-offs. And then the last but not least, careers aren't always going to be the passion kind of checkbox for you. Oftentimes you want to have hobbies that make that difference, right? For me, it was chess. Angela likes photography. I don't know what you guys like. Maybe some people like video games. I like video games. There's different strokes for different folks. Okay, so a big takeaway here is whatever it is, right? If you can make learning your passion, you're going to be better off because the world is always going to be changing, right? You're going to be able to move to places differently. You're going to be able to think about things differently, and things are just going to be a lot more fun. All right, so always, keep that in mind. Okay, so a little bit. I'm going to change gears here a little bit. So we talked a lot about career and money and salary and things like that. But there's one thing that schools don't teach you, and you probably won't hear about, but it's probably the biggest game changer, right? I learned a lot. I read a book on investing. And there was a fact in there, like there's a little statement in there that just completely blew my mind that I was like, how do more people not know this? So first, let me start by saying that saving and investing is going to beat out salary 9 times out of 10, right? I know plenty of doctors who are, they make a lot of money, but they have to work, or they have big houses, big cars, and things like that. They don't invest. Right? There's plenty of people who are like, mechanics or whatever, who are just happy because they're able to save a lot and invest. Right? So I want you to think about that, right? There's like, when I think about it, the way I think about it, there's 3 pillars. One is a job, right? That's how you make money. That's the way you make money. Another pillar is entrepreneurship. Like you have a business, right? That's a way to make money, right? And the third thing is investing. Investing is a great way to make money and to build wealth. Those are 3 pillars. Yet everybody focuses on jobs. Fewer people focus on entrepreneurship, and virtually nobody focuses on investing. Right? Investing can make a big difference. I'm going to show you why. All right. Okay. This is 100% true. You put it into your calculator. If you save $100 a week, right, starting today, remember, it's just 7% a year. So if you gain 7% interest, not a lot, just a little bit. It's very easy to do that. 40 years later, that's over $1 million. So there's good news and bad news. The good news is every one of you right now has the ability to be a millionaire. Just doing this one thing. The bad news is, like, I've heard high schoolers don't care. They really are interested in the new Taylor Swift album. I don't know. But I don't know. I mean, if she's saying about investing, maybe it'd be more popular. I don't know. But this is a true statement, right? Like, I just think about all the jobs that I've had and kind of the decisions I've made. I've never had to worry about money because I've always been investing and saving. Sorry, do you have a question?
Yeah, like investing, do you mean like you're buying your own stock with this money? Or?
Yeah, basically. I mean, it's more simple than that. There's like, I don't want to get, yeah, exactly, index funds.
Can you explain what that means, or like, can you explain to
Serious topic.
Yeah, I'd be happy. So, a stock is basically a piece of a company. Like anybody own Apple products here? If you have an iPhone, anything like that? Yeah, so like Apple is a company, and Apple issues shares, stock. And people buy that stock, right? And basically when they buy the stock, Apple says, okay, you bought a piece of my company, I'm gonna give you money. It's called dividends. That's it, right? And then also Apple becomes more valuable, stock becomes more pricey. That's one form of investing, right? But let me ask you a question. Isn't it risky just to have one stock, right?
Yes.
Because what happens, do you guys remember when Steve Jobs died, you know what happened to Apple share price?
Can you repeat that again?
When Steve Jobs died, he was the CEO of Apple. Do you know what happened to the share price?
It went down.
Yeah, it went down a lot, right? Because all the people that owned the stock were like, oh shoot, Steve Jobs was like the captain of Apple, the greatest visionary ever. I don't know if you believe it or not, but he made a big difference. He's not there anymore. The company is less valuable, so my stock price drops. So do you have a question? So let me just tell you. One way to get around that is just to buy a whole bunch of stocks, a massive bucket of stocks. You can do that, right? And you can just buy it and hold it. And one way to do that is called an index fund, right? And I don't want to get too complicated because this is like you can go down a rabbit hole. But the most simple way is like an index fund is just a big basket of stocks. You just buy it and you hold it. And over a long period of time, like 40 years, it'll give you 7%. Usually it'll give you more than that. It'll give you almost 10%, right? And then over time it becomes huge. And then when you're ready to sell, you sell. That's it. You just buy and hold. You don't trade, right? You don't like decide to cash out early. You just hold, and over time it becomes a lot of money, right? It's absolutely true. So that's one basic principle. Yes.
So like, what if it drops? Like, you're saving up and you're investing in that stock.
Yeah, but the thing is, the things like index funds, they move up and down, right? But over a long period of time, they always move up.
So I think what another thing, Abby, is that Tool's not saying that we should only invest in stocks, right? So like just like you don't hold all your money in like in one stock like Apple, you should also diversify like your savings, right? You should have some in your savings account and some in like
Yes.
I'll call it like stocks, index funds and stuff. And the thing about index funds is that they do drop, so like they're different companies in different sectors, right? So oftentimes, unless it's like a great financial crisis like the 2008 or like the Great Depression, not every company is going to fall at the same time. So what the index fund does is that it really diversifies or like negates the huge amount of risk by making sure that the stocks that are in that fund are not positively correlated. Rather, they should be like negatively correlated. So when like one of the stocks falls, the other one won't fall, or it actually climbs. So that way, it tries to mitigate or reduce the risk of what you're talking about. That it's just going to completely all crash down.
So I think that's important to know is that people panic when things go down. But like, if you're just buying and holding for the long run, it works out in the long run. That's a great way to think about it. You know? So, and that's exactly right in terms of how index funds are composed. But that's just one starting point. Like, this is like once you, it's like I think personal finance is like an addiction. Like you get a little taste of it, and you're like, oh, this is good. And then you know, before you know it, you're buying index funds. You know, so it's great. But seriously, like today, with like I said, globalization and technology, anybody can invest with a little bit of money. Anybody can.
On that topic, do you kind of like, I've heard, like a lot of friends here have been talking about like Acorn or different forms of like mini,
Yep, I've heard of Acorn.
or like Robinhood or something like that.
Yeah, so there's like different kinds. A lot of robo advising, which is it just means a computer does it for you,
Yeah.
which honestly is better because people make mistakes. I've heard of like Wealthfront and Betterment, which I'm pretty fond of. And again, it's the best thing you want, honestly, from a personal finance standpoint, for most people, for the vast majority of people, is you want something to set it and forget it. Like you have a bank account, right? Your money's going in, your money's going in, your income's going in, and just automatic investment into an index fund. And you just set it and forget it. It just keeps buying. Market goes up, you buy. Market goes down, you buy. And then, you know, you wake up one day, you're like 40 something, you open up your investment account, and you're like, oh my God, I have $1 million.